Yeah, it's me again. Welcome to a third devlog for the soon-to-be renamed night game. In my last video, I had the archer player and the archer enemy type, along with remaking the level system to add more levels easier. In this video, I'm going to continue off all of the things I did in the last video. To get things started, I remade the archer enemy attack like I said I would in the last devlog to make it more predictable and, in my opinion, more fun to fight, since the last one it just seemed like the arrows were coming out of nowhere. So I changed it so that arrows would be super slow and couldn't deal damage for a split second to give you a chance to react. And then I added a little targeting line so you could tell if you needed to dodge, so if you couldn't see the enemy, you would still be able to know you were about to get attacked. I also made it so the bow would actually do the animation I set up in the last video because I forgot to do that. And then added some arrow particles for when the arrow was flying through the air for some juice. After that, I figured it would be best if I took a full 180 and start to balance the knight, since I started feeling a little bit underpowered compared to the archer character. So I just made the knight a little bit better to be able to make it so it's not a 100% clear choice on your selected character. Also, for gits and shiggles, I added spikes because they were in the tile set and I felt like they were important enough to add, so now we have something else to avoid other than our daily responsibilities in this godforsaken planet. After the spike shenanigans, I still wasn't satisfied with the balancing for the overall game. So I got to work on making sure everything was good. So I just started messing with things and changing values for the different player healths and enemy healths. I was aiming for more of a Risk of Rain, enemies get higher health and attack damage the more levels you get through style. On top of all that, I added a player level up system alongside all the tweaking I did. So whenever the player collected enough coins they got XP too. So when they leveled up, they got more health and attack. To go alongside the new player scaling system, I also started adding chests where you would need to buy your way into getting the item inside using the money you get along the way. I started with the small chest, which would only hold one item and would be relatively cheap to get into, and made the price scale as the game continued on. I then made the large chest would be double the price of the small one, but would hold 2 items. To match the chests, I made the items scale with the player's level so they would be effective no matter what level you're on. After that, I apparently decided that the HUD was the next thing that needed to be redone. So I changed it up to make the left side of the screen a little bit more visible so things would be less difficult for the player to see. And just make it better in general because the original HUD kind of stunk. To add to the HUD changes, I went on to fixing up the main menu a little bit to change it to anything but dark purple. So I busted out the tile set and made this design. I also changed the name of this game to Dungeons Risk because I thought it sounded better than Night Game. To match the main menu better, I also recreated the character select menu that I thought was really good in the last video to better fit the style of everything else I changed on the menu side of things. That made everything look a lot nicer, in my opinion, but please feel free to make fun of me in the comments if you really want to. After my menu rampage was over, I went on to making a chest spawn point so I can just put down a spawn point where I wanted a chest to spawn, and it will either not spawn a small chest, or spawn a large chest. Once that was done, I was in the mood to start making levels, so I began making rooms 5 through 8. Here's those. After adding the levels I made to the level list, I added blood to the other level designs because I forgot about the blood tiles on the tile map, and I thought they made everything look just a little bit nicer. While we're at it, here's some bonus footage of me making a really big level that I'm planning on using later, but it's not in the game right now because me big dumb and didn't plan far enough ahead. Finally, I decided that it was time to make the third playable character, the mage. First, I started out with duplicating the archer since it was more of a logical choice for what I was going with on this character. After that, I added animations and I started making the weapon in a separate scene. I went on a whole rant about weapons being in a separate scene last time, so I don't know why I did it again this time. But I'm going to save you the rant. After the one was made, I got to work on the attack, because I knew it would be kind of easy to make just with the animation play, and I wanted to get it out of the way. Again, I took a little bit of inspiration from Risk of Rain here, this time with the captain character and their secondary ability to call down an airstrike to kill enemies. I felt that was an interesting mechanic, so I decided to add it in a sort of a magic form for this magic character. Eventually I got the attack working like how I wanted, and I think it's pretty good right now. After a lot of bug fixing, because I'm not good at making code expandable apparently, the mage character is mostly finished. There will probably be changes between videos. And with that, I'm gonna end this video here since it seems like a good ending point. Next time I'm gonna try and focus on polishing and smaller things like that. But for now, I'm just gonna fade into the dark here. Have a good one.